Through storms, unshaken, unbowed. Through trials and verdicts, still standing proud. A titan in the tempest, against the raging crowd. He's got a vision for the future, gonna shout it aloud. Changing the wind, it's coming fast. A new foundation built to last. Cryptocurrency's the key, make the big switch. Power to the people, time to teach the rich. Legal battles can't hold him, he's moving on. With plans so bold, from dusk till dawn. He's rewriting the rules, a new dawn's day. From the hands of the few to the people's way. Say goodbye to all chains, embrace the new. A financial revolution, fair and true. For the workers, the dreamers, side by side. In Trump's new era, let freedom rise.
All right, welcome everyone to the Crazy Kryptonaut channel. Zester, and thank you guys so much for joining me on this Trump day. I hope everyone's having a great start to theirs. And yes, I did. I let our song go a little bit longer this morning, and I started it a little bit earlier than usual because I was thinking and planning on Friday we would go through and maybe do a remix or a new version for the Crazy Kryptonaut channel. So I let it play a little bit longer this morning since it might be getting retired very soon. But what is up, everyone? Got some exciting articles to go through today. Bunch of stuff from Trump and some fairly big statistics. I guess exciting statistics. Definitely shows the direct correlation with Trump coming in to run the show and where crypto has gone in just a very short time, not even a year's time. And we've seen a massive change. So going to be talking about that one after I say good morning to everyone. How are you doing? Good morning, Mile High Trish. Good morning, Kukla. Happy Trump Day to both of y'all as well. What's up? Good morning, Gary7. Gary7, hello, number 3, clicking like. How is everyone? Well, thank you so much for clicking the like button, Gary. And I'm doing well. I am doing well. I hope you are also, man. Yeah, I was playing around. I have been playing around. I like the background. And so just so everyone knows, I finally got through my work emails that had piled up from my short vacation time. And so I finally got some time to start going through and looking at everything else. I'm now going through Crazy Kryptonite emails and getting back to all that. So I started having some time to play around with a little bit of it. So gonna be a few little changes around there. What's up, Gigi? Gigi, I made it. Wow, it's been a while. Yes, I did change my picture. Gigi, I like the new photo, and welcome back. Good morning, Doug, coming from Pennsylvania. Hope you're having a good one. What's up, Neil, coming from North Kakalaki? Good morning, Proud Air American. Hope you fully recovered. Let's get it done. Mornings powered by Mr. Heels. Hey, awesome. No, absolutely. I hope you have been doing well also, Proud Air American. Yukon, good morning, Yukon. Good morning, Crazy Chester and Sluggo. Good morning there, Speed Racer. Yes. Kukla, we need a new intro. We're going to work on that one. Good morning, Pamela. All right. Yes, Kukla 21. The content in this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes and not intended to provide financial advice. Please consult with a financial professional before making investment decisions. Thank you for making certain I get that one, Kukla. Neil, Zester, still enjoying my crypto RV and F-150. Thanks for the crypto help. That is awesome. Awesome news, Neil. I've actually gotten to talk to a good amount of folks from the community who have They sold a little bit of their XRP, or they had one of their different cryptos go up a lot. They got to take some out, get rid of some debt, things like that. And I absolutely cannot be happier for you in any form or fashion. That is super, super awesome. And I bet that F-150, I bet it drives a little bit, it drives even nicer on account of that, I imagine. That is awesome news, Neil. Rich Roper. Oh, here we go. It's a good question to start the roll. Rich Roper, is there a limit for one ledger that it can hold? All digital, so think not. Rich Roper, there is not a limit of the amount of crypto that can be stored, or effectively that the keys to access it can be stored on a ledger. And so you don't have any limitation in that manner. The only limitation on, say, a ledger, as an example, would be in the form of how many applications you have room for or data for. But that, in all honesty, is never going to be a problem. It doesn't matter. You're never going to have that issue. But Rich Roper, the short version, short answer, you never have to worry about there being quote unquote too much crypto. If you ever have too much crypto on a wallet, don't worry. I will take that burden on for you. So nothing to worry about there, Rich. And honestly, on the application side, there's also nothing to worry about. I think even my Nano S Plus, which has the smallest amount of data, I think there's still enough room for like 50 applications on it. And I don't think I have more than 6 or 7 on any of my Ledger devices. So no worries there. Hey, good morning there, Sam. How are you doing, man? Sluggo, hey, let's get the top of that Pac-Man cabinet cleaned off there. It's actually starting a little collection of different things that I want to have in my background. Actually, some really cool little things are hiding up there because they're designed to be things that'll end up being in the background. And so I've actually got some quite cool little things that are sitting back there that I plan on bringing out and putting on display at some point in time, because there are some very, very cool things that I've got up here. Some very, very cool things, at least in my opinion, and things like that. Stuff that I wanted to display. It's kind of turned into kind of the unofficial storage spot for the moment, but I do need to get to work on that one. Gary 7, my uncle fell into a vat of whiskey. He died 3 hours later. He would have died sooner, but he got out 3 times to beat. That's a good one, Gary. What's up, Deborah? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Michelle. Kukla Zester, your pops played his new intro song. Everyone loved it. I did. I really enjoyed his. I thought that one was a slam dunk. I was listening along on Saturday for its debut. All right. Trying to catch up, guys. Sorry if I missed saying a good morning to anyone. Good morning, Rocker Mom. I think I got most. If I did miss you, sorry about that one. Good morning, LG Lady. Kukla, where are the kitties at? Actually, the kitties were all sitting in here in their chair next to me until right around the music started. So I guess maybe they're feeling a little camera shy this morning. But all right, guys, I'm going to jump in to our news articles. Of course, I'll be looking for questions, and we'll start Q&A as soon as those start rolling in. But for our beginning, the market's looking a little bit better this Wednesday than it has in the past week. We've got Bitcoin sitting at 112,000. We've got XRP sitting at $2.87. Ethereum 4,400. Stellar sitting at 36 cents. Chainlink sitting at 23.69. Chainlink's done pretty well throughout all of the market volatility, but otherwise we've recovered a little bit. Bitcoin more so than anybody else at this point. XRP though, definitely looking better than the low points we got down to at 272 on the first, but still not exactly where I would love for it to be. But everything on that side was fairly expected. Remember, we were looking towards the Fed data and the inflation data. We saw that come in, not exactly where all the talking heads wanted it. And so it was kind of an expected downturn, but we've started to recover at this point. And what it really leads me to is the main focus of my articles today is really going to be on the overall Trump effect in crypto, because we've got a lot of news in regards to that. In particular, we just had the data release. US rises to second in crypto adoption as APAC sees the most growth. The US climbed to second in Chainalysis 2025 Global Adoption Index rating, with India taking the top spot, and then following the US, Pakistan, Vietnam, and Brazil rounding out the top 5. Very, very interesting countries. By the way, we've talked about this one a bit. I went on to the original Mark Z and talked about that one a little bit. Remember, we were just last week looking and actually really focusing on a top 13 chart of crypto adoption based off of the different countries. And I kind of took a little bit of a takeaway from that if you notice, it's a lot of BRICS nations, a lot of nations that we're talking about in a variety of different contexts. And well, the new analysis or the new data from Chainalysis really shows that kind of continuing, but also seeing the US pulling up another spot. Definitely would have to 100% credit Donald Trump in regards to the US moving up to the second highest spot. For those that are not aware, in the past, the United States was the third country in regards to crypto adoption, so the third highest rate of adoption. And we were being edged out at that point by India and I believe Indonesia. India and Indonesia, that has swapped, and now the United States is sitting in spot number 2. So definitely in regards to the Trump effect. And well, this article actually was fairly interesting, because as we start to go through and look more at the top 10, this is definitely very, very different. Well, not very different from the 2024 data, but some very, very key changes have occurred inside of here. Indonesia has massively dropped, not on account of Indonesia not continuing to grow in terms of crypto adoption, but because other countries have really started to skyrocket in regards to adoption. And so of our top 20, we are seeing India number 1 slot, United States now in number 2, Pakistan 3, Vietnam 4, Brazil 5, Nigeria 6, Indonesia 7, Ukraine 8, Philippines at 9, and Russia sitting at the 10th spot. As you continue to look down throughout it, you will continue to notice, though, that it is largely dominated by either the highly technical, and so the most technologically advanced countries. We would see that in terms of specifically maybe the United States, Korea, Japan, and the United Kingdom. We could probably make an argument that that's, in all honesty, one of the major reasons. These are countries that have disposable income and have very, very, very high levels of tech literacy. But beyond that, we are seeing pretty much a who's who of BRIC nations, or nations who are suffering from massive inflationary issues. And so, I mean, as we break it down, it really is. We are seeing essentially every nation of BRICS is on the list besides China, I believe, at this point. Essentially, China and South Africa, I believe, are essentially some of the only BRICS nations or BRICS partnered countries, those that are in current negotiations to join BRICS, that are not already on the list. And so this one is an interesting one, very, very much so, because we can't really know what this would have looked like if it hadn't been on account of the Trump effect. But I would have to say with a certain degree of confidence that I believe the United States would have actually fallen in regards to crypto adoption if we had seen a Kamala Harris presidency. All right, going back to the questions, though. Going to the questions. D. Rambo, good morning, Zester. I had to go with Ledger Flex to read the screen. A rich Ledger would make the Nano S with a bigger screen for those of us with not so perfect eyesight. D Rambo, I would have to agree. It is a tiny, tiny screen. It's functional, but it can be a bit of a pain. The Ledger Flex, the Ledger X, the Ledger Stacks, those have nice screens on them. Far more pleasant from that perspective, but you pay for that. But no, I'm happy to hear that you've got one though, and I'm jealous. The Ledger Flex is one that's on my list. I think I'm actually going to start moving a little bit of my Ledger over to one of the newer devices in the near future myself also. I've always had Nano S's and Nano S Pluses, but I think I may have to go out and spring for one of the fancier models in the coming months. LG Lady, what was Ethereum a year ago? Well, LG Lady, let's just make certain that we get that one on the dot. If we were to look at the 1 year chart, we saw 1 year ago $2,437 per Ethereum on the 1 year chart. But Ethereum over its entire lifespan really has seen a lot of general volatility. And so we have seen Ethereum reach 5,000. I believe it made it over 5,000 back in 2021. And so we have still never gotten back to those all-time highs. We have still never. Actually, no, we did. 10 days ago, we actually managed to break that all-time high by just a little bit. Man, talk about wish I had a buttload of Ethereum that I had held on to since October 20th of 2025 when it was 43 cents a pop. But so yes, it is up well over $2,000 in the past year, LG Lady, per Ethereum. Not as high of a percentage increase though as say something like XRP. XRP was still a better buy if you went back 1 year ago, I believe. All right. Looking for more and more questions. Michael Zester, your thought on World Liberty Finance Coin, WLFI. We're actually going to be talking about World Liberty Financial in some of our other articles in regards to the Trump effect today, Michael. But what I would have to say is, now that it's no longer in the same form that it was prior to Trump winning the presidency, because remember, at first, World Liberty Financial wasn't, you couldn't send it. It was supposed to be non-transferable, supposed to never have value. Well, now, all of a sudden, World Liberty Financial is publicly traded thanks to the SEC changes. And it has made it a far, far more interesting potential buy. I will say at this point in time, I do not own any World Liberty Financial at this point in time, but I am curious. As we see it trading publicly, I think we'll be able to start to really see what the use case is. Deborah Muse Wolf, how do they rate who is first, second, etc.? And so how this is actually calculated, Deborah, is it's calculated. Chain Analysis is actually a data company. Essentially, they have all of these API integrations and things where they are tracking where people are using crypto from. And so what Chain Analysis is doing is they're actually looking through and seeing from which countries are crypto users coming from. And so they're able to actually kind of take a bird's eye view and say, okay, how we're ranking this is based off of what percentage of the populace are crypto users. And so just because, a country may be on the list doesn't mean that it's going to have more crypto users than another nation. It just means it has a higher percentage of crypto users than another nation does. And so in this situation, we would say, or we would be able to look at it and go and say that, well, in India, the highest percentage of the Indian population is actually adopted, or the highest number of people have adopted it. And so you'll see across here that they're actually ranking across multiple different factors. And so one of those factors is going to be on some of these is the percentage of people that are using. In other factors, it's just the overall amount of crypto users. And then in other categories, it's users of, say, decentralized finance versus centralized finance. And so it's actually ranking them against a variety of different metrics. Gary7, question. People exchange fiat currency quite often. Are there any advantages exchanging crypto from different countries, or is it all the same crypto? Thanks. Gary7, and so your crypto, if you are got USDT, and so that is the tether or the US dollar, it's stable coin, goes by the term tether, USDT. If you have a USDT and you are in China, or you have a USDT and you are in the United States, it is the same exact token. It has the same value. It's pegged in the same way, and it would be viewed by the blockchain in the same way. And so no worries there, Gary, no matter where you buy them from. All right. I'm interested. Rocker Mom 117. I'm interested in World Liberty Financial. I use Exodus Wallet and Uphold Exchange. It looks like to buy World Liberty Financial, I have to buy it on Exodus, and they make you purchase at least $50 of Bitcoin to buy World Liberty Financial. Is that normal? That seems quite odd, Rocker Mom. I'm wondering what the reason is for that. That would have to be something that's very, very Exodus only, because I haven't seen that on many other exchanges. But as a little way of just kind of a little tip for everybody out there, whenever you're looking for a crypto and you're interested in where you can acquire it, a great safe way to find that out is to come to something like CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap. I prefer the Gecko. I don't know why. I just prefer it. They both do essentially the same exact thing. And scroll down after you've picked the right one. So in this case, World Liberty Financial. Scroll down here. And so what you'll actually see is that these are all of the places where you can buy World Liberty Financial token. And so we have got Bybit, OKX, MEXC, Gate.io. We've got Coinbase Exchange, which is allowing for World Liberty Financial. And so you can come here, and this is the easiest way, Rocker Mom, in my opinion, to figure out the safe places that you can make your purchase. So here would be some excellent examples of different places you could acquire World Liberty Financial. Also, remember that World Liberty Financial is on the Ethereum blockchain, and that means you do also have the ability to acquire World Liberty Financial through decentralized exchanges. And so if we were to actually come down here, you can actually sort. CEX is a centralized exchange. DEX is a decentralized exchange. You can actually see here by clicking DEX, we could acquire World Liberty Financial through decentralized exchanges on Uniswap, PancakeSwap, Radium, Meteora, lots of decentralized options also. So you can actually go out and you could acquire World Liberty Financial without handing over any of your personal information or having an exchange account. And so just a little tip that made that might help a lot of folks out. Please do, whenever you find a new token, guys, please come and actually look it up and follow the links through something like CoinGecko, because it really does keep you safe. It also has the website link, so you don't end up going to some scam website. It has all of that type of information. It also has, the right Twitter, so that when you go onto it and you actually go to follow them on Twitter, you make certain that you're joining the right one and not a scam account. Very, very helpful tip in terms of keeping yourself safe out there, and also saving a lot of time doing research on things. All right. Fred 1, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, advice to buy and hold. Fred, I think I missed a little bit. Of the question on that one. Fred, putting money into XRP, small amounts at a time, always makes sense to dip your toes rather than jumping in. Deborah Muse Wolf. So that includes retail and institutional users. We do have, and so I believe we actually have a distinction being made there on that one. And so as I zoom in and we cut off some of the chart, you'll see that in terms of institutional centralized service value received ranking, that's where India's got a 1, DeFi value received ranking 1. And so we do see that they have broken this one down from a few different metrics. And essentially, we are seeing that India dominates on essentially every single factor. United States, very oddly here, number 2 overall index, 2 in centralized service value, 2 in DeFi, 2 in institutional, but 10 in retail centralized service value. And this one does, I suppose, in many ways, make a lot of sense because we just have seen most of the retail has not really been a fast adoption of crypto in the United States, compliments of the SEC. And so this metric is trailing behind slightly, but I would imagine in the coming year or so, I would go so far as to bet that come next year, you're not going to see the United States coming in at the 10th spot. All right. All right. Yeah, Rocker Mom. I can't just buy World. Rocker Mom, I'll have to just get a Coinbase account. Thank you, Zester. No problem. No problem at all. And I highly would recommend having a Coinbase account, even if you don't use it all the time. It's very convenient to go ahead and have some of those exchange accounts set up just so that you don't, when you do need them, you don't have to go through the whole process. And it seems like the longer that you have accounts with many of these exchanges, the easier that you as a customer appear to be for them. They seem to be willing to give you, better rates, better offers, all kinds of things the longer you're with them. So I think you would be well served by at least having a Coinbase account there, Rocker Mom. LG Lady, is WLFI the Trump coin? World Liberty Financial is the Trump project that the Trump family, really Eric and Donald Trump Jr., have been large parts of backing. And so it is backed. It was mentioned by Trump. It is backed by the Trump family. But to my knowledge, it's more of the space of the Trump kids and less so necessarily Donald Trump on a day-to-day basis. Of course, he's a little busy at the moment. But so, yes, World Liberty Financial is one of the Trump coins. It is not the Trump meme token nor the Melania meme token. This one is specifically supposed to be around decentralized lending platforms, decentralized exchanges, DeFi. All right. Fred 1, my bank takes 3 days to clear a transaction. Fred 1, that one is a regular pain in the butt when it comes to crypto. That's what I do like about Coinbase also, is that Coinbase knows that. And so when Coinbase gets the message, hey, Fred's sending money, Coinbase actually lets you go ahead and buy crypto with that money before the bank has actually cleared it. But Coinbase won't let you leave with that crypto, but it will let you go ahead and buy crypto on the Coinbase exchange and hold that crypto sitting there until the money arrives from the bank. That is one thing they do that can be helpful at times if, say, you really wanted to lock in a certain price point. Fred 1, any advice on staking? Well, Fred, one really great first start when it comes to staking is actually on Coinbase. And so for those that are very new to it, this exchanges do offer essentially staking options or ways to earn a return. And so Coinbase has this one in the form of USDC, the stable coin, where you can hold stable coin in your Coinbase account, get paid 4.1%, I believe, yearly on that one. Please, if I'm wrong on the number or if it's changed, my apologies. It should be somewhere close to that. They also have the ability for you to stake your Ethereum, stake your Solana, stake your Cosmos. I think they have a variety of different options on that one. Let me actually see if my Coinbase account is still logged in at the moment. I might be able to actually point directly at these things. But I think, I don't know. I think I may need my two-factor authentication to get in. Yeah, no, I won't be able to get that one pulled up while live this morning. But Fred, in your Coinbase account, you do have those options. I actually have a video very old video on the channel, but I believe it's even titled Staking, where I show people a little bit of just staking specifically on Coinbase and how it works. And so that one may be very helpful. I might have to go looking for that link for you, Fred. But I believe it's the only video in my entire library that has staking in the title. But I'll have to go look for that one. D Rambo Zester, can you do another brief on Pax Gold? Absolutely, D Rambo. And so Pax Gold is a cryptocurrency that is pegged to the US dollar. I mean, my apologies. Start over on that one. Pax Gold is a stablecoin pegged to the value of 1 gold ounce. And so let's actually go ahead. I'll bring it up. We got Pax Gold, PAXG. And so Pax Gold is kind of well renowned as being the first big name out there that was creating a stablecoin pegged to gold. And so right now, 1 Pax Gold is worth $3,574, and it has a circulating supply of 282,566 tokens. And so what this means is that inside of a bank vault in a Swiss mountain, there are 282,566 gold ounces that are third-party audited that are sitting inside of this gigantic vault. And so whenever 1 gold ounce enters into the vault, what they do is they mint 1 gold representing digital currency, digital token that represents that gold ounce. This allows you to hold gold because you are literally buying gold at actual spot price. You're not paying, premiums. You're not paying anything else. You're buying at exact value. You can then take your 1 Pax Gold or however many you buy, and you can stake it. You can lend it. You can spend it, or you could just hold it on your ledger as a representation of gold. Or you could go to Pax Gold and you could say, hey, I would like a gold ounce, and you can get your gold ounce. This makes a huge shift in the value proposition of investing in precious metals, because precious metals have issues. Essentially, I can't buy a stick of chewing gum with my silver ounce. I can't buy a stick of chewing gum with my gold ounce. We can't be shaving small portions of gold off in order to make purchases. With the blockchain, I can actually buy that stick of gum with my Pax Gold. I can send 20 cents of value that is backed by gold, and I can make that purchase. I can, if I needed access to my money, I needed to pay bills. I'm not going to my local coin shop and haggling with them over what price they're going to pay for my gold ounce. I immediately go on, I get full price for my gold ounce. It's immediately available in the form of US dollar stable coins or in the form of fiat, and I'm able to pay my rent. It really is an absolute game changer in the world of precious metals. It's going to allow for us to actually have an economy that is backed by precious metals and real world assets. And so Pax Gold is an example of that. They are one of the, I believe they are the biggest, still at this point, the biggest public tokenizer of precious metals. There are institutional services that probably have more money, more capital locked up, but Pax Gold is something any and all of us can participate in. And D Rambo, great question. D Rambo says, Zester, can one just buy any dollar amount, like $50? Or does one have to invest the price of 1 ounce on Pax Gold? D Rambo, that's the awesome part about the blockchain. I can buy $10 of gold. I can buy $10 of gold. And then I could buy $10 of gold every day for the next year until I end up with a whole ounce of gold. And so essentially, you can buy any amount of it. You can fractionalize it. And so I could send you 1/10 of an ounce of gold in value, and you could actually get 1/10 of an ounce of gold of value out of it. And so it is very, very interesting in that regard. And this is going to be the future of precious metals. The future of precious metals will be in tokenization because it is a absolute revolution in terms of being able to use that capital wealth. Gold and silver have always been seen as a way of maintaining wealth, not a way of becoming wealthy. They are a way of maintaining wealth. In this sense, now holding gold and silver is going to become a way of actually generating wealth. Because you are going to see people buying or tokenizing their gold and silver. You're going to see them then providing it to liquidity pools, earning interest that is paid in gold, earning interest that is paid in silver for this. I think you will see essentially 90% in about a decade's time. I believe that 90% of gold and silver that is not being used for industrial purposes will be tokenized. It will no longer move from the bank vaults that it is held inside of. It will sit right there, and those digital representations of that gold ounce will be zipping around the world, making purchases, making loans, making investments hundreds of times a day without the gold ever moving. Deborah Muse Wolf, what's good about that? It eliminates the higher premiums for smaller weight coins. Absolutely, Deborah Muse. What we're going to see is the rise of bullion. Bullion is going to become king because you're not going to want to invest in some kind of special Krugerrand. You're not going to want to do that because your Krugerrand is just a gold ounce. It's just one gold ounce. And the blockchain is going to view it as one gold ounce, not one fancier gold ounce, not one gold ounce that's worth more. It's just going to say one gold ounce. And that is going to really lead to a rise in the value of bullion taking over a lot of the conversation. I know me personally, I've never been a person, when I buy silver, I buy silver. I am not looking to buy anything that is overvalued. I want the best deal, and I want guaranteed purity. When it comes down to it, I don't care what they have stamped on it. You can stamp whatever you want on it. As long as it's 100, as long as it's silver, I don't care. But I think we're going to see a lot of others go that same route where we're going to start to see bullion is going to be king because bullion is going to be the easiest to tokenize. You will see the other ones get tokenized. You will see the specialized NFTs essentially to indicate the rarity and uniqueness of a specific, numismatic coins at that point, I think is the word that they used for it. You will see the blockchain used for that, but what you will see the most focus on will be this, what Pax Gold is, where it is nothing more than gold bullion. Doesn't matter what it's stamped with. All that matters is that it is verifiable gold at the proper purity, and that will be the only thing that is important. And so, yes, Deborah, it will. It should honestly massively change how people make investments in precious metals because you're going to see a very, very large focus on bullion. You're going to see really a breaking down of all barriers between different denominations of gold. And so you'll start to see that 1/10 of an ounce of gold coin. Well, it's going to have to start being competitively priced. And why is someone not just going to buy a singular gold ounce and then sell 0.1 of it? Because 0.1 of a full gold ounce of just one coin is going to be essentially the exact same as what used to be necessary, that 1/10 of a gold ounce real world gold. You're no longer going to need it. I can just take my singular ounce and I can use any portion of it that I want. Why bother with all of these extra premiums for buying smaller weight coins? You're totally right, Deborah Muse. I think we will see those things go not the way of the dodo bird. People will still collect. There's still going to be collectors, but we will see far, far fewer of them circulating around, I imagine. Gary 7, any tax issues you need to worry about if you spend Pax Gold or precious metals? Thanks. Gary 7, that's an extremely interesting question because we don't really have an exact answer yet. because gold and silver fit into a very odd category when it comes down to taxation. And so, are they going to choose to view that representation in the same form as they would gold or silver? And is it going to matter whether I buy an ounce of gold and then I deposit it and I have them give me a digital representation of it? Does that change the metric? Gary, there's going to be a lot of very interesting questions that need answered on that front, because it does fit into an odd category. And so as of right now, Gary, unfortunately, I don't think anyone necessarily knows the exact answer because it's a gray area. Me personally, I would argue that it's no different than if I had made a purchase of gold or silver in a physical form. D. Rambo Zester, is there a silver crypto like Pax Gold? Actually, I believe we have seen Pax Silver. I don't know if it's launched. I know that it was being discussed. And so it appears as if Pax Silver has not been launched yet. But I know that it was on the agenda. And so D. Rambo, the silver crypto is the one I'm the absolute most excited for, in my opinion. More so than Pax Gold or any gold backed. And also remember, guys, XRP and Stellar have every intention of tokenizing gold and silver. And so I think we're going to see a lot more players in this game in the coming months. We're going to hear a lot more announcements, and we're going to see a lot of new product options coming out. But as of right now, Pax Gold does not have a Pax Silver. There are smaller projects that are backed by silver, but I do not know of the 100% guarantee, essentially, that Pax Gold has. Sherry M. Griffith, where's the gold coming from? Is it gotten from a gold mine? I believe that in terms of Pax Gold itself, that it was originally acquired through a partnership with a Swiss bank. Now, from that point onward, I'm imagining that they're just making bullion purchases from any of the refineries. But that's a great question, Sherry. Where is the gold being sourced? Because there is definitely an opportunity for some dirty gold to potentially make it in to this system as things are first getting off and rolling. LG Lady, Zester, do you have a whiskey and wisdom bar? I do have a whiskey and wisdom bar, but it is not sitting with me actually at the desk. It is in a safe. But I do have one, but it was the smallest bar that they were making. That was the biggest one I could get at the time. And so I think it was a 5 ounce. I believe it was a 5 ounce whiskey and wisdom bar, but I'd have to go in and look. LG Lady, matters if you're investing in silver or a coin collector. I used to enjoy collecting. LG Lady, I am the type of person who really likes, I do enjoy collecting. I am definitely a bit of a magpie in that regard. If it's a shiny coin, a shiny rock, it usually ends up in my pocket or stored away somewhere. And so LG Lady, I will never have all of my gold and silver in a tokenized form, but it will most likely start to become the vast majority of my gold and silver will be in a tokenized form, just because it will be so much easier to use. It will be so much more valuable in a tokenized form that it's going to kind of change that metric. But I'm never going to give away all of it. I'm still going to want to hold some around the house, be able to see it, be able to hold it, and, if the zombies ever show up, be able to spend it. All right, jumping back over to our articles, more of the Trump effect in practice. All right, and this is today, as of literally today, Trump-backed American Bitcoin mining firm to start trading on NASDAQ. And so they went live on trading earlier this morning. A Bitcoin mining company backed by two of President Donald Trump's sons is set to hit the public markets. American Bitcoin. It says will, but I suppose I should say has begun trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker ABTC. This would be the latest crypto offering from the Trump family, which at this point has backed a sprawling array of public companies linked to digital assets. Now, American Bitcoin is a joint venture between Eric Trump, Donald Trump Jr., and Hut 8, another Bitcoin mining firm. To create the Trump-backed Bitcoin mining company, Hut 8 contributed the vast majority of its Bitcoin mining ASICs, aka the machines that mine, or the machines that they're mining or providing the infrastructure for the Bitcoin blockchain, in exchange for 80% of the new company's stock. And so Hut 8 is definitely the majority owner of this new company. Hut 8 will focus its remaining operations on building out its data center business, which includes hosting computer chips to power artificial intelligence. Now, to get American Bitcoin to public markets quicker, the Trumps and Hut 8 negotiated an all-stock merger with Griffin Digital Mining, yet another Bitcoin mining company. As part of the deal, American Bitcoin sold privately issued stock to raise $220 million. Now, Eric Trump has pitched this new Bitcoin mining company as a means for investors to gain exposure to the world's largest cryptocurrencies. I think ultimately it will become a Bitcoin proxy, he previously told Fortune, and that there is no doubt about it. And the article goes on to talk about the sprawling array of different crypto forays that the Trump family have gotten into. As a matter of fact, we will be talking more about those in a second. But yes, we have got a new Trump-backed crypto endeavor out there being publicly traded. As a matter of fact, before the stream started, I had looked at it and the stock was already up over 60% since trading had begun. I do not know if that has changed. As you know, those things do tend to be particularly volatile on their first day of public trading. But yes, appears to be a all-around success for the Trump family and Hut 8, and another way for people to gain exposure to the crypto markets without specifically buying a cryptocurrency. You're now able to invest in a publicly traded company. And undoubtedly, the stock value of that publicly traded company is going to come down to, well, how well is the Bitcoin ecosystem doing? And so, for those that are curious, Deborah Muse Wolf, what's the ticker symbol? The ticker symbol would appear to be ABTC on the NASDAQ. ABTC, the American Bitcoin Company. Sherry M. Griffith. I'm new to crypto. How do I buy? Sherry M. Griffith. Well, welcome. And you're in the right place. Please do come back, ask questions as you go through this journey. But Sherry, first things first, I would highly recommend that you set up a Coinbase account. And so that would just be coinbase.com. I would highly recommend that you set up an account over there, Sherry, because that's going to be where you go to buy and sell your crypto. Get it, where you get money from your bank account over to Coinbase, you buy crypto, and then at some point in the future, when fingers crossed, it's worth a heck of a lot more than you paid for it, and you want to be able to get that money back out to your bank account, you're going to need Coinbase at that point also. And so I highly recommend, first step, get yourself a Coinbase account. And that would be your first, your step one in the whole process would definitely be get a Coinbase account and join us on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and ask questions, Sherry, because we'll be here and I'm happy to help. And awesome work, Trish. I see Trish was also going through there. Absolutely, Sherry. LG Lady, wow, Zester, you really have faith in going mostly tokenized form. LG Lady, it will be a process. Essentially, I'm going to dip my toe in and I'm going to then slowly ease in as I make certain that the water is warm. But I do think that it won't. I think that honestly, I'm using short in terms of years, in a very short fashion, aka in the next couple of years. I think that it will become something that most folks are not nearly as worried about. That is my expectation, is that in the coming years, it will become far less of a worry. All right, jumping to our next one, because, well, we've got more coming out from the Trump. All right, Trump administration reverses offshore exodus as crypto booms back on shore. World Liberty Financial co-founder Zach Witkoff touts World Liberty Financial Token's $23 billion surge and says President Donald Trump's vision is driving America's crypto comeback and encouraging banks to endorse blockchain. Now, when we take these rankings and we see that crypto adoption in the United States has been skyrocketing, and then we look over at the amount of money that is coming back onshore, this is once again another one of those things we can very, very easily credit to the Trump effect. A pro-crypto, pro-blockchain presidency making a huge difference in the United States. It's bringing the money back. It's increasing adoption amongst the American consumer. It's bringing back all of this money that the Biden administration and the SEC had scared offshore. It's leading to Trump's desire for America to become the crypto capital of the world, becoming an actual reality. We're bringing the money back. We're bringing the jobs back. Now, and I am not tired yet of winning in the slightest. And so I love seeing things like this. It is a great sign. Now, actually, we were talking about this one a bit earlier in a different fashion when we were talking about the idea of, I believe Gary Seven had asked about if there's a difference between a crypto from one country versus a crypto from another country. And this article is actually a great representation of how it is. And so, with dollar scarce, Venezuela's currency exchanges are turning to crypto. Now, U.S. sanctions limit Venezuela's access to foreign currency. And so Venezuela is now using USDT, that is Tether, the dollar stable coin, in order to buoy their currency exchange. PDVSA has increased digital currency usage. Venezuela's government is slowly allowing the use of dollar-tied cryptocurrencies in currency exchanges for the private sector, as U.S. restrictions on oil exports reduce available foreign currency. And so when Venezuelan government and Venezuelan companies are looking to do business transactions, companies have been forced to seek to buy raw materials from abroad via any other currency besides bolivars. And so USDT to the rescue. Now, but although the United States Treasury Department last month issued a new restricted license to Chevron, allowing it to export oil after a 3-month pause, the license blocks any payments to the government, reducing the quantity of dollars available for exchange. And so in response, the Venezuelan government, since June, allowed the use of more Tether, value being pegged to the US dollar. And so we are seeing this occur across the planet, and we are seeing crypto adoption occur primarily in countries that are having issues with their currencies. So that's why I think there is this direct correlation between a lot of the BRICS nations that are financially or on the outskirts. You know, they're not buddy with the US, the EU, etc. And then we're seeing this trend. And so that's why I believe crypto is so important. It really is bringing the opportunity for people to disconnect from their government's mismanagement of the financial system. And so for Venezuelans, it's providing them with a life raft, the ability to say, hey, my government's not going to get their crap together, so I am going to start moving to crypto. That's where we've seen so many nations follow the exact same trend. Nigeria's government starts messing around, Nigerians move to crypto. Venezuela's government messes around, Venezuelans move to crypto. This trend continues to repeat itself, and it's not going to slow down. It's only going to accelerate. And very, very soon you will be seeing on the store shelves in most of South America, most of Africa, you will see all of their denominations of making purchases are going to start being valued in US dollars, not because they plan on accepting physical US dollars. No, it's because they want to accept stable coins pegged to the US dollar. They're not going to suddenly be like, yeah, sure, give me a $20 bill. They're going to say, no, I would like 20 Tether tokens. I would like $20 in this digital form, because that's going to allow that merchant who is sitting in the middle of Zimbabwe, he is now going to be able to accept payment in US dollars, and he is going to be able to purchase new products to sell in US dollars. And so we are going to see this massively, massively spread around the world, especially developing nations. And I think it's going to lead towards more of a tokenization effort around the world. But the first one that's going to really be the easiest for folks to integrate in is going to be the US dollar. US dollar stablecoins control like 99% of the stablecoin market. We're going to see them really get first shot at it. All right. D Rambo, always remember to have your toes in many different rivers. As a safeguard for now, I've started my toes in crypto for future growth. Absolutely, D Rambo. I do not believe in placing all of the eggs in one basket in the slightest. Diversification is definitely a good idea. Yes, and yeah, very good. Make certain I'll highlight that one. Trish says, Griffith, there's also a Coinbase app for both iPhone and Android, so you don't need a PC or laptop. Very, very good. Thank you for pointing that one out, Trish. I always have everything on the computer, but the phone application for Coinbase is very, very easy to use. All right, LG Lady, I'm so looking forward to seeing Made in the USA a lot more. Absolutely. I'm trying to do my best to be a part of making that shift. F2DX, do you think that will make it easier to take advantage of the currency exchange rate for the Bolivar? I absolutely think that that essentially Venezuela is poised for the major shift in terms of Venezuela's economy is going to be a blockchain shift. That part seems very, very obvious for Venezuela, at least according to the way the Venezuelan government has been approaching it. It seems as if Venezuela has definitely decided digital currency is going to be the answer for it. SMT, Glint. SMT, I think Glint is very much on the right track with how they're doing it. I think that Glint is essentially going to be very much how the blockchain versions are going to be operating. Absolutely. All right, on to our next article of the morning. And then looking at the time, guys, looks like we're going to get our next couple of articles. And then I am going to have to run off for the day. The stream flew today. It's been 58 minutes, and I didn't even realize. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, crazy. There's us an app for the Coinbase wallet. Please watch out for the Coinbase wallet. Thank you, Mile High Trish. Mile High Trish said, I had serious issues with the Coinbase wallet and have chosen not to use it, but love my Coinbase account. I am the exact same. I would highly, 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 highly recommend that people do not use the Coinbase wallet. The Coinbase wallet has resulted in so many people that are new to crypto losing access to their cryptocurrencies. It is incalculable. I do not even know how many. I know it has been countless members of the Mark Z community have had issues with Coinbase Wallet. I had issues with Coinbase Wallet when I tried to use it years ago. I highly recommend not using Coinbase Wallet. Don't download it. Don't look at it. Coinbase account and the Coinbase exchange is a very good service. The Coinbase Wallet is a terrible service. And so definitely great advice there, Trish. Great advice there. But yes, Crazy Chester, Crazy Chester, I use the wallet just for transferring. If that's all you're using it for, then yes, no worries. I have MetaMask. That's what I use that for. I use MetaMask when I need to do things like that. So if that's what you're using it for, okay, but I I would highly recommend if you're new to it and you don't have a wallet chosen, I would recommend against choosing that one if you're new to it. But if you've gotten good at using it, Crazy Chester, then hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right, let's get through our last articles, though, so I can let everyone jump on to the rest of their day. DeFi lending rises 72% on institutional interest and real-world asset collateral adoption. Decentralized finance is going to be supercharged by real-world asset tokenization, by tokenized gold, by tokenized silver. It is going to push decentralized finance into the stratosphere because we're going to be able to essentially access all of the features of a bank, and that bank will be backed by gold and silver, and that bank will not require any of our personal information. We'll be able to have the best of both worlds. And so I would be in 100% agreement here with the sentiment of the article and of their breakdown, in the fact that it is 100% going to be a massive increase in interest in decentralized finance, because now I will be able to go to decentralized finance, interact with it in currencies that are backed by real world assets. And so without giving up my privacy, without giving up my control over my finances, I will be able to go through, perform all of the tasks of a bank, but better, because my bank will be backed by gold and silver. And I will not have to pay any of those crazy fees. I will not have to go get any of that insanity done in terms of KYC and my personal information, my social security number, et cetera, et cetera. I need none of that, but I will be able to participate in high level banking that previously was only really available to institutional investors. Now, as a retail investor, as just a person living their life in 2025 and in the future decades, I will be able to earn like I am a bank. I will be able to provide financial vehicles that are just as secure as JP Morgan. As a matter of fact, they'll be more secure because you'll actually be able to verify that I'm backed by gold and silver. It really is a crazy change. D Rambo, Zester, when you say MetaMask, do you mean you use that wallet for trading or transferring in the crypto market? MetaMask, D Rambo, is what I use for essentially, it is my software wallet. And so MetaMask, it's my little fox right here. He's always hanging out with me. He's always around. And he just allows me to essentially interact with any type of DeFi protocol in a very easy fashion. Well, he would if I remembered my password. And so what it allows for me to do, so I have MetaMask on my phone and I also have it on my computer. It allows for me to very easily interact with decentralized finance. It allows me to transfer back and forth between different wallets. It's kind of like a way station is the way that I use it. Either it's money that I'm planning on spending, I'm going to go buy something with, or it is a way station on its way to somewhere else. There are a variety of different things that I have found it to be extremely useful for. And so with that one, though, guys, I'll toss these last two articles up, but I do have to run off. I have got a meeting in just a few minutes to go getting ready for. And so let's wrap up our last articles, and then I am going to let everyone get on and enjoy their Trump Day. I will be back again this evening for Whiskey and Wisdom over on the original Mark Z. And also, for anybody who wants to check out Mr. Heels, a lot of work went into this one. I am very, very, very proud of the products on Mr. Heels, from methylene blue to coffee to mushroom tinctures, CBD tinctures. We've even got over here, as the beginning of our infused kitchen, we actually have THC sugar, which is insanely cool and works incredibly well. And very soon there will be monk fruit infused with THC for those who want a 0-calorie diabetic friendly option. And so very, very cool. Definitely check that one out. And remember /Zester or Zester for a discount. For our last two articles, U.S. Bank Corp reboots crypto custody after Trump era rule change. Because of the time, I won't dig too far into this article, but what it is, once again, another indicator of the Trump effect. We're seeing Bitcoin and crypto companies opening back up now that there is some legal framework, and they're not afraid that they're going to be thrown in the pokey for it. And, well, kind of in a conclusion of it, and I'm planning on adding this article over in the chat for those who want to check it out, in regards to the Trump family's crypto playbook, everything that they've bought so far, what they appear to be investing in, and also dual purpose with this link. TradingView is a free service. They do have paid versions, but it is a free service, and it is an excellent tool for being able to go through and look at different things, see the prices of different cryptos. And so dual purpose with sharing that link. TradingView can be a helpful platform for doing some research. And also, well, this article in particular is definitely going to be of interest to folks as it breaks down not everything actually that the Trump family has gotten into in crypto, but it definitely breaks down a lot of it, how much money we're talking about, and where they're investing their dollars. So with all of that, thank you guys so much for joining this morning. I will see everyone again, 11:30 a.m. on Friday, same place. Hope everyone has a safe week. Love you guys.